Hi y'all, it's Amide. Right now I am just driving, smoking, and I wanted to do a video on what it's like working at Nordstrom. That's a bit random, but it'll be helpful to somebody. If you plan on working in the fashion industry, shout out to you, good luck. Despite all the bullshit people might say about it not being a promising field, no field is promising, and we do need good garments. We need nice clothing. So shout out to all the people, you know, getting ready to be a part of the future when it comes to fashion. I had to delete the last scene because I was about to get really biased. I'm just going to keep it straightforward and tell y'all what it's like working at Nordstrom. First of all, you're going to make $13 an hour. If you make commission, that 13 an hour is gone. So you're not making 13 plus commission. You're either making 13 and some change, or you're making your commission. The dress code is very strict. I don't even know how people are able to sustain themselves working there and staying inside of the dress code. They're better off just having a rack there for people to wear the shit and just leave it there at the end of the night. Of course, you would be on your feet all day. They don't want to see you sitting down, not at least at the one that I worked at. You do get discounts on stuff. And you also get to meet a lot of amazing people who are really good in sales. There are people making good money working at Nordstrom. Like, don't get me wrong. It just depends on where you work at, like the department and shit like that. I did not realize how much people be stealing until I worked at Nordstrom. If you are not somebody who's good with customer service, don't work at Nordstrom. If you don't know how to talk to people, if you work based on your mood, don't work at Nordstrom. If you're not willing to show up with a smile on your face, no matter what, don't fucking work at Nordstrom. There was a lady that used to do my makeup at the Chanel counter at Nordstrom. She works at Louis Vuitton now. She's on to much bigger and better things. But that is why I think that Nordstrom is a good stepping stone for people who do want to work in fashion. However, if you can get a job at Saks Fifth Avenue, let's see, Bloomingdale's, anywhere else, the Ralph Lauren store, the Hermes store, if you can, well, you probably won't be able to work at the Hermes store right out the gate. But if you can get in there and get out of there, you should. You should use Nordstrom to get a job somewhere else. Just use it to get the experience, because that's all they're really going to use you for. Nordstrom is a recycling bin. People buy and return everything. The return policy is trash, so your commission, you may as well just kiss it the fuck goodbye. I've met some really cool people working at Nordstrom, not just people I work with, but customers. Nordstrom that I worked at had 2 restaurants inside of it. One was like the little E-bar where you can get like little snacks, a smoothie, a coffee, shit like that. Maybe a cinnamon bun, whatever. And then there was like an actual restaurant in there as well where you could order like dinner. I personally don't miss working there. I make almost 3 times as much as I did. So yeah, I've been meaning to make this video for a while. You may come across people who are very nice, nasty, or snooty, but that's just working in retail, so that shouldn't be a surprise. If you don't plan on actually working in fashion, or you don't want to just have something nice to put on your resume, don't fucking work at Nordstrom. Not for any reason, not doing anything. There are people making good money working for Nordstrom. Like outside of sales, of course. Like area managers, district managers, shit like that. But I don't recommend anybody working there, literally for any reason. I just had to give y'all the straight up facts before I say all that. So yeah, that's all I got for y'all. Love y'all, bye.